up, YouTube? This is your boy, Alex. Today is Sunday. Yeah, we're going to do back-to-back YouTube videos. And I'm going to take another YouTube break for the next 2 to 3 days. Because I don't want to burn out. When you do too many YouTube videos, you get exhausted and tired. And then you can't keep up. And then people get tired of seeing me do the same videos over and over and over. And the content gets old. It gets stale. You lose views, you lose subscribers, and then nobody want to watch your content. And that's starting to happen to a lot of YouTubers. I've been watching a lot of YouTube channels lately, and a lot of people are losing views and subscribers left and right because they can't seem to figure out how to keep their content fresh and new. And they have their reasons. And when I take my break, for 2 or 3 days. I might take a 4-day break. It all depends on how I feel. This is part 2 of my music series. This one's going to be a long and lengthy video. This one might be between 35 to 45 minutes, might be on the verge of being 50 minutes. I apologize. I know that's a long, lengthy video, but the name of the title is worthy of the title of the video being that long, so I apologize. So if you don't like long, lengthy videos, I understand. I'm going to try my best to try to get it just under 40. I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to try it. So the name of this one's going to be called Sex Game, Top 19 Greatest Pop, Hip Hop, and R&B Stars of all times of the 1980s, the 90s, and the 2000s. This has 19 spots. So if your favorite pop star, hip hop star, R&B star is not on this list, they might be in the 3rd video, the 4th, or the 5th video. I decided last night we're going to make 5 videos in my trilogy. And of course, you know the rule. If the video is very well received, then you'll get a 3 and probably a 4. Part 5 is going to be in a special category. So don't worry if I name someone on this list. This is a mixture of men and women. Because I don't want no one to say I'm biased, I'm sexist, I'm favoritism. This one is going to be for the black men and the black women who like these artists. Yesterday I did rock and roll, heavy metal, alternative, and punk rock. Today we're going to switch up the genres and throw in some old school hip hop up in this bitch. Pop, R&B. I'm going to take you back to the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s when music was the shit. Not this garbage that you hear on the radio today. Yeah, you heard me. This radio garbage that they play today. See, music back in the day was the shit. Music that made you really dance at the nightclub. Music that when you saw a fine black woman, white woman, sexy mamacita, you knew you could feel the music with the attention. Cut the attention with the knife, with the electricity. Now let's get into this video. I'm excited. I'm pumped up today. Alright, coming in at number 19 is my man AC Hammer. Now, AC Hammer was one of these break dancers that came from the church. And when he first broke into the music industry, a lot of people really were against AC Hammer. A lot of people don't realize how tough it was for him in the 1980s. I mean, he put out 5 albums, but he only had maybe 5 songs on one album that was good. Stop. It's Hammer time. Dun, 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 dun. Stop. It's Hammer time. Dun, 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 dun. Stop. Can't touch this. He was so good at that song stayed on the radio for like almost a whole entire month. It was his best song. It was his breakout song. That song generated not thousands. That song generated millions of dollars. As a little kid, I would just get up and start breakdancing and I was trying to do the dance moves. Everybody was. Every time somebody had a birthday party, that song came on. And then he got so popular around the time they did Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he was in there, too legit to quit, ha ha, too legit to quit. It was like he could still take that popularity and transcend. And of course, there's that one song where you wish he should never put it out, where he stole the King of Pop's glove, which was a very stupid move on his behalf because he had the glove and he was bragging about the glove and he basically wanted the title of being the King of Pop. And it's like, you don't disrespect the King of Pop like that. You just don't do that. Like, a lot of people looked at AC Hammer like, you got to be mad to disrespect the King of Pop like that. And his downfall. The fame, the fortune was too much. My dad saw him at the racetrack not once but twice. And my dad told me that he had this big entourage. And you see why he's on this list is because he made having a big entourage famous. I mean, before Lil Wayne, before Drake, before any of these rappers came along and had these big ass entourages, AC Hammer was notorious for having an entourage. Everywhere he went, he had an entourage. He was on the bus. It didn't matter where he was going to. And he kind of set the stage and the standard for breakdancing. Because you fast forward 20 years later, everyone's doing his dance moves in his videos. And when you steal somebody's dance moves and we recognize it's 20 years later, well, at some point he's going to call and pick up the phone and say, please break me off. So we will always remember AC Hammer for his songs, him being controversial, him, coming in with the swag and saying it's okay to come from the church and break dance. We'll never forget AC Hammer. He is on this list. Now, it's just unfortunate that he had a downfall. He made a comeback, but nobody took him serious when he got into rap music. That's gonna be in the next episode where I just talk about nothing but rap. I mean, he did. I mean, he should have stayed where he was at and just reinvented himself and hooked up with Kurt Franklin. He would have really had a shot at resurrecting his career. But ego, money, pride got in the way. So we will always remember him for that. Coming in at number 18 is Vanity 6, Nasty Girl. Do you want to tell me you're a nasty girl? Now tell me, do you want to tell me, do you want to be in a nasty world? I'm like, when I saw Vanity, that was the first time I had ever seen what she looked like. I had heard her songs, and when I watched Beverly Hills Cop 2, they would play that song a lot in the movie. In fact, she was supposed to be in the movie, but she dropped out because she was doing movies, television shows, commercials. And who kicked off Vanity's career? Prince, right? If it weren't for Prince, you would have never knew who Vanity was. Vanity came in the 80s and just took over. Like, there were a bunch of pop star artists that were beautiful and attractive with an exotic look, but when Vanity came in, nobody had never heard her sound before. Nobody seen what she looked like. And they find out that she was from Canada and she had vocals like that. It's like, damn, girl, where you get the vocals from? And she was holding it down in the 80s. And then she popped up in, she popped up in movies like Action Jackson. Then her career really took off. She appeared in those Air Force movies with Lusa Gossip Jr. She appeared in those movies. Then she appeared in The Last Dragon. And that seemed like that was her prime. Like, before all these other women came, like before Beyonce, before Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, before any of these chicks got in the game, Vanity kind of came in there and say, I'm going to do something new and flashy that ain't the usual. And to this day, people take that Nasty Girl song and they've remixed it so many times that everyone keeps taking her dance moves and her style because whether people admit it or not, she was the shit in the 80s. I mean, nobody in this period, like maybe a few girls of today probably could ride onto that level and take her on, but she was Prince's prodigy. Prince brought her up. She popped up on that Purple Rain album, and as they say, the rest is history. Now, unfortunately, her rise to fame was cut short. When it got to the 1990s, the fame was too much. The alcohol, the drugs, the setbacks, the rehab, in and out of rehab, domestic violence. She had so many challenges in the 90s trying to transition from music to television and film. She would eventually resurrect her career, but when we got into the 2000s, she had a hard time trying to, follow the time. She missed the spotlight. And when you're in her position, you're going to miss the spotlight. You're going to wish that you could still be a star. I mean, when you hear people talking about Beyonce, Rihanna, Nicki Minaj, and Cardi B, and no one's talking about you anymore, that hurts. That can hurt anybody. Anyone can get hurt by that. And I think that's what hurt her most, when people were talking about all these new stars and they were just ignoring the fact that she came in the 80s and it was her who set the bar so high. I think that hurted her. And if anybody knew that hurted her more than anyone, it was Prince. Because Prince spoke to her during those final years. So and to lose the both of them like we did was very tragic. So she's a legend because he's a legend. Coming at number 17 is Nelly. Now, Nelly is someone that's from St. Louis, and a lot of people didn't think he could make it in the industry. They thought he was too rugged, too rough. They thought that he should have been fit for a rapper, and he convinced everyone that not only that he could rap, he convinced everyone that he could sing. Because at first they were afraid of his ability. Like, you're supposed to be a rapper and you want to be a singer. And he crossed over. He showed that he could do the hip hop, the R&B, the rap. He showed. But it seems as time went on, everyone just accepted Nelly with this sound that we never heard before. He came in and did country grammar. It was a little different, not used to the Southern style. He introduced that. Before Little John, and you try to take the Southern style and resurrect it, Nelly kind of came in and said, I'm a little Southern, get used to it. Auntie, mama, E-I, uh-oh, just something now. It's getting hot in here. It's like every year he was popping out songs out of nowhere. And the fact that he could last this long in the game was a shock. Most rappers who turn into singers, their careers, they fall apart within 5 to 10 years. He's managed to somehow stay afloat. He get into the movies, television shows here or there. He does the talent shows. He manages to show that he could switch up. Like when he did a country song from out of nowhere. Nobody thought he could take that singing ability and be able to do it. When he did I'm Number One, he had already took some rock and injected into hip hop without people noticing it. And the way that he got away with it, it's like there's only a few artists on this list that can do something like that and get away with it. Like LL Cool J is known for doing stuff that you don't notice and pull it off nicely, and Nelly managed to do the same thing. So that's why he's on this list. You know, so if it weren't for Nelly, you probably would have never seen that style before. Coming in at number 16 is T-Pain. Now, T-Pain is kind of like another Notorious B.I.G. I mean, he has, he's got his braids. He's big. He's a little on the heavy side. But when he opens his mouth, you expect him to rap. No, that's not what you get from this. That's not what you get from T-Pain, my man. What you get from T-Pain is songs that you expect a guy that's skinny. See, he broke the stereotype. That's why I put T-Pain on this list. He broke stereotypes. He said it's okay to be big. It's okay to be a little different. And when he opened his voice, you just couldn't believe that the guy could sing. Like when he did, I'm in love with a stripper, I'm sprung trying to get me, got me doing things I never thought, I'm sprung. And then to take the remixes of those songs, it's like you just don't expect a guy that's fit for a rapper to spin off 3 or 4 albums singing. And then to get you to accept that, then your usual hardcore rap is like mind blowing. And what made it so interesting is that he could pair up with any rapper and still pull that off. And then to have him slowly but maturely, come in with a new style, rap 1 minute. And when he did it, she got me doing the gestures, he switched to the rap. He went from singing to the rapping to show you I can sing and I can rap. Trying to get me, but always trying to be with me. When it all comes down sprung. Get me, got me doing things I never. It's like he switched in the middle of the song. You know how complicated it is to rap in the song and then switch from rapping to singing? Like most guys can't do that. Most guys do not have that ability to do that while being filmed. Like it's like he practiced that 100 times before they put the camera on, and then when they throw in Young Jock, I'ma buy you a drink, oh, I'ma go buy you a drink. It's like Young Jock is known for singing, but T-Pain come in here and says, I can do just as good. And then when he hooks up with Chris Brown, you're seeing that he is able to enhance Chris Brown's singing ability and elevate him to a level that he is. So some people have to understand T-Pain is like the elevated rapper. And the reason why I say elevated rapper slash singer is because he elevates people to be on a higher level than they would expect. Like, yeah, Chris Brown would have got there on his own eventually, but T-Pain speed up the process so fast, you didn't expect nobody to do it. Time to switch hats. It's part of a new act. Yeah, what's up, Doc? Yeah, it's the Bugs Bunny hat. I know y'all is like, that just came from out of nowhere, Alex. Yeah, I do a lot of fun, entertaining stuff that come from out of nowhere. All right, coming in at number 15 is Chris Brown, a.k.a. Chris Breezy. Now, when Chris Brown popped up, the first thing you think of, he's a cross between Usher, Ginuwine, with a nice little touch of Michael Jackson from his younger days. And the songs that Chris Brown spit out. Can you run it? Can you see if I can run it? It's a man on the floor. Let me see it on the floor. Now can you see me run it? When he did that, that was like his introduction to saying, hello, I'm in the game, now what's up? And then it hits you with some hits like wall to wall. It ain't been 15 minutes and then wall to wall. Hey, hey. I forgot all the lyrics to that song because you know how long that song was. That was like in 2007. So don't pick on me too much. I forgot all the lyrics to Wall to Wall. But that video was a nice tribute touchback to Michael Jackson's Thriller. You look at Thriller, you look at Wall to Wall, you see all the similarities. Michael Jackson does the zombies, and he does vampires. When he walks in, he gets bit by a vampire, and then she calls him. And basically his song is explaining if he could date all the women in the world, if he could. And calling it Wall to Wall is basically to commemorate who else? Michael Jackson. When he did Kiss Kiss, again, you see T-Pain enhances his ability to sing. You're seeing the best come out of Chris Brown in that song, Kiss Kiss. And Chris Brown is a huge Michael Jackson fan, so a lot of his songs are far cries to the early days of Michael Jackson. So when I say he's got a cross between Ginuwine, Usher, and a nice young touch of Michael Jackson, just look at all his songs. Those songs will make you think about the times when Michael was young and when he started to come up. Coming in at number 14 is Rihanna. Now, Rihanna has this sexy, erotic look. And she comes off as this nice, innocent girl. And then from out of nowhere, she switch up on you. And then she pops out these songs like On My Umbrella. That was her induction to the game, and who is on the record, who's on the soundtrack, who's in the video, is Jay-Z. And the fact that she took an umbrella and talked about the rain, you can get on my umbrella, ay, under my umbrella, ay. Yes, I remember that song very well because every now and then there's a fine-ass black girl or a white girl that be in the car and that song come on. So it seemed like that song is like one of her best songs. Then she comes out with Rockstar. And the way she got hard on the track was like, Rihanna getting hard on the mic? What's going on? And the way she pulled off being hard on the mic and still being sexy, not too many women can do that. Like some women, if they become a female rapper, they stay a female rapper. But when they sing, she was able to sing a nursery rhyme, rap it, and still look good doing it. Then there's Shut Up and Drive and Get in the Car. So Rihanna would pop out these songs, and I would watch her. To be honest, tell you the truth, between her and Nicki Minaj, I watched her more than Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, if you want sex appeal, Nicki Minaj would sing songs but tell a story. Rihanna would do a nursery rhyme and rap, and then basically come in there and basically do things that you wouldn't expect. And you see this kind of way that she did it. You remember all her songs. The woman got heart. And you fast forward 10 years later and you're still wondering what next big hit she got coming up. She got some more hits coming up, and we ain't seen, what she really can do. And then when she jumped into movies and television shows, you see that people are wondering could she still pull off that same style while doing movies, and she was able to still balance so perfectly well. So she's pretty good at balancing the way she does her songs. So that's what I like about Rihanna. Rihanna kind of in a seductive way with her music. She takes me back to when I was a kid. And there's another girl on this list that I'm gonna tell you who Rihanna reminds me of, and it'll explain why Jay-Z saw something in Rihanna. When I mention that artist, you'll know why Jay-Z jumped up on that and signed the contract. Coming in at number 13 is my man Joe. See, a lot of these R&B artists today do all these love songs. They don't give Joe enough respect and enough credit. This man came in the same era as my man LL Cool J, Boys the Men, 112. This man came in that era. Ginuwine, Usher. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Yes, it's a part of the act, people. It's a part of the act. I'm having fun today. Be happy that I'm having fun today. I like to entertain people. That's one of my other jobs is entertaining people. Joe was good with these love songs. Like, Joe could take a bad situation at work, at school, and make you forget that you had a bad day. And when he did that song with Mystical, nobody thought he could go from singing love songs to trying to do some rap. When he did it with Boys the Men, people gave Boys the Men all the credit. And when Joe did the song with Mystical, you could see that he can kind of rap and sing at the same time if he really wanted to. And he just did it to show that if I want to switch up my style, I can. I can tell you lying, cause you implying. Stutter, 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 stutter. I can smell the cologne. You lying. Tell me where you are. You ticking me off. You ticking me off. Ooh, where? I can tell you lying, cause you implying. Stutter, stutter, stutter. I can tell you lying, cause you implying. Stutter, stutter. I mean, when he came out with that song, it just brought you back to when you first got your heart crushed. I mean, I know you men know what I'm talking about. When you was in high school, when you was in college, and the news broke out on the football team that the girl that you try to holler at cheated on you, that song takes you back to those days when you first got your heart crushed and you didn't know how you was gonna rebound back. And then to remix the song and bring Mystical in there. And when he does that, he gets acceptance. Because most of the time, if you are an R&B singer, they think you're soft, they think you're weak. And he showed that R&B singers can be just as hardcore on the mic as singing. He shows that. And to me, it's just unfortunate nobody really seems to give him the respect and the credit that he deserves. He did come in those late 80s, early 90s. He did have his time to dominate the game. He did collaborations with Boys the Men, 112, LL Cool J, Jagged Edge, Ginuwine, Usher. He was singing with the greats because he is one of the greats. That's why my man Joe's on this list. I'll never forget the song Stutter. Coming in at number 12 is Ginuwine. Another rapper I think people just don't give him enough respect and enough credit. I mean, the songs that when he played, you got all the emotion out of those songs. Yeah, they were sexual. Yeah, they were a bit over the top. They were ironic. But the way that he was so creative, he did stuff outside the box and got you to be accepted. It was like people were trying to tell him that you're not going to be able to do it because LL's good at it. And he said, watch me. I'm going to show you I can be on the same level as LL. And LL had to switch up because he was about to get on LL's level. And LL was like, oh, shit, I got to work on my shit harder because Ginuwine ain't playing. In them jeans, that was a good song. I mean, you ask anybody, women love that song, In Your Jeans. Men, on the other hand, they love My Pony. Because if you've seen the movie Booty Call, that song comes on My Pony. I'm just looking for a bachelor. I'm looking for a partner. Y'all know the lyrics to that song. That's every time they do a love scene in these black romantic comedy movies, that song come on. You can count how many times they do a romantic comedy, that song comes on. When you watch the video of In Those Jeans, he telling you a story about a woman that he finds physically, sexually attractive. And the fact that he was able to stay afloat for like a decade and a half. He was able to do both R&B and rap music, and he's another guy that doesn't get enough respect and enough credit. You know, I mean, to me he was like Drake before there was Drake. Because in the beginning, people didn't think he was gonna survive. First, it was Ginuwine and Usher; they were together. Then them two separated and did their own thing. And you could see that to this day, he has managed to last as long as anyone else thinks. He's on the same level as Usher. If anybody don't think otherwise, something's wrong with you. So that's Ginuwine. Coming in at number 11 is Shannon, Let the Music Play. Now, Shannon is one of these women that came in the mid 80s, early 90s, and she managed to prove naysayers and critics wrong. They didn't think her being a female dancer, singer, was going to grab anyone's attention. They told her that's not what they doing in pop music today. And she said, I'm going to show you and I'm going to have them accept it. They thought she was insane. They thought she was mad. And this woman came with this hit song, Just the Music Play. And to this very day, I don't care where you are, that song is by far her best song. It creeps in the movies, the television shows. Women in their 40s and their 50s, when they hear that song, they shout out all the lyrics to that song. And the fact that that song can rival today's music is just interesting. Like some of the music played today ain't nowhere near close to the magnitude of that song. It was like someone went into a laboratory and took some DNA from Janet Jackson and created this woman, and this woman just ran out of the laboratory and just dominated the game. I mean, she was like the heart of those 1980s. She took stories about being in love, getting your heart broken, and bouncing back from it, and the way she would put emotion into the song, you went home satisfied that when her next album came out, it weren't no doubt in your mind that all the songs that came after were going to be just as great as that one. But to this day, when you talk about I love the 80s, you cannot include a list without her and without that song, Just to Let the Music Play. I know, because my mom would nod her head to that song every single day that she came home from the store. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Britney Spears Tied with Christina Aguilera. Now, if you were in high school, you argued with your male friends about between Britney and Christina Aguilera, who is the more better artist. Now, sex appeal, you're without a doubt, you're gonna say Britney Spears. Talent wise, you're gonna say it's Christina Aguilera. Both girls were talented. Both girls had sex appeal. Both girls had edgy ass styles. Both girls popped up around the same time. Both girls at one point were being pent against each other to see who was the best overall. Britney in the beginning was on top. No one could touch Britney Spears. I'm Not That Innocent, Baby One More Time. Those were hits that people would actually listen to. And then here comes Christina Aguilera, I'm a genie in a bottle. I'm like, oh shit, I got to hear this, I'm a genie in a bottle. And a lot of the girls would get mad at me because I would always nod my head to I'm a genie in the bottle, then I'm Not That Innocent. I play both songs, it's just Christina Aguilera had a powerful effect on me. Because you never expect a tiny little, I'm not saying she's a tiny little girl, but you never expect a girl of her size to pop out this big ass voice. And when she come with the grunt, you're like, God damn, girl, where the hell you get your vocals from? Shit. The way she would just grunt out, it's like, oh shit. And when she got in her 30s, a lot of people were concerned that when you get older, your voice starts to get deeper or softer. And they were afraid that she may not be able to survive in her 30s. And when she popped up in the movie with Cher, and y'all know what I'm talking about, and when she just straight out grunts, and people were like, oh shit, she still got it. For someone that's 31, 32, she still got it. She showed, yeah, I'm 30, I'm in my 30s, I still got it. I still got the shit. Calm down, I still got the shit. And when she did that song with Redman, Dirty, and you hear him in there rapping hard, and she in there dancing, grinding on the dance floor, I'm like, God damn. I mean, that was a part of my childhood. People would actually argue Who was better, Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera? Now, I always said to myself, they're both on the same level. They were trying to do it as if this was professional basketball. Michael Jordan versus Kobe, who's better? If it's professional football, you would say Tom Brady or Brett Favre, who's better? And they were kind of doing it like that. And I was looking like, you ain't got to do all of that. So they both are talented. They both have sex appeal. They both had setbacks, okay? They both made comebacks. They both resurrected their careers. Christina Aguilera chose to do movies and television shows. Britney Spears chose to revive her career by changing up her sound. And when Christina Aguilera and Britney Spears danced with Michael Jackson, that had to tell you they're on the same level. You don't get compared to each other and then get phone calls from the King of Pop saying, I want to work with both of y'all. And when Michael was there with Britney and Christina Aguilera, you saw magic get created. Both those girls got to be with the King of Pop. Most female artists, they don't ever get a phone call from somebody like a Michael Jackson, a Prince, or a Jay-Z. You got to be on a high level to get that honor. So they're both tied because they both came around the same time and they did dominate. Like, you can't never say Britney Spears without mentioning Christina Aguilera. You cannot say Christina Aguilera without mentioning Britney Spears. They're on the same level. That's what it was in those 1990s. Coming in at number 9 is my man Usher. Usher is like a young spinning image of Michael Jackson with a nice little twist of Prince. And when he popped up, he had a unique sound. Nobody knew what to think of it. They didn't know what to do with him. So for the first 2 or 3 albums, they just let him be freestyle. And he freestyles. And then he hit us with that best song performance. Before he did, yeah, My Confessions. Before he did Got Me Caught Up. Before he did all of those smash hits. He touched me with that song with Tyrese, My Way. Ooh, we is my way. Why say no? Y'all know the rest of the lyrics of that song. I'm just doing that because I played it before I did the video, obviously. That song right there, he's at the circus, he got the makeup on, he in there clowning Tyrese, and Tyrese like, I'm going to show you something. And to do the dance off with that. And you see, there's only a few people that can do that for 20 years of their career and look good doing it. Like, he's survived. He somehow, some way, he just keeps getting better. Every time he put out on, he just get better. He gets better. He gets better. They say men age like fine wine. Well, apparently it's working for Usher because it's 20 years later and he's still kicking ass and taking names. He does it all. Movies, television, albums, producing, writing. It's like, man, this guy just don't stop. The older he gets, the better he gets. It's like this guy just keeps creating magic every step of the way. And he, at one point, was reaching levels that were unparalleled. When he got onto the same level of LL Cool J, that's when he got his appraisal from LL. You know how hard it is to get other guys to give you that appraisal? So that's why he's on this list. Coming in at number 8 is Janet Jackson.